Hi everybody, Richard Tremans here again, Artificial Lawyer TV. Today we're doing another special extended product walkthrough, this time with vLex, the legal research platform. To tell us a little bit more about one of the key features, which is international research, is Natalie. Hi Natalie.
Hi Richard.
Actually, before we get into the product, maybe you just tell us a bit about yourself and also vLex, for those who don't know vLex too well.
Yeah, sure. So I head up the business development team for the London office global markets business unit. So essentially, I'm responsible for showcasing the product to our clients throughout the world. Essentially, what vLex is, it's a case law database predominantly. So the service has the largest collection of global judgments available anywhere online. But what really sets vLex apart is the technology behind it. So we have a number of features that help practitioners be able to establish whether or not a case is still considered good law and see how that case is being cited both in that home jurisdiction and cross-jurisdictionally. So it works really, really well when you are doing comparative research.
Gotcha, fantastic. And what are you going to show us today? Because you're only showing us part of the entire platform.
Yes, so I'm going to start off by talking a little bit more about the content that we have, and then I'm going to show you some key features which showcase how you can actually use this and see how certain documents are being cited cross-jurisdictionally and ways to speed up that process for you.
Brilliant. Okay, fantastic. If you could share your screen and I will disappear and let you carry on.
Okay, so firstly, diving into the content, like I mentioned, vLex has the largest collection of global judgments available anywhere online. We have the largest collection in a number of different jurisdictions. So largely speaking, we have the largest collection within England and Wales, within Ireland, Spain, Latin America, and the Caribbean. But we also have extensive coverage across the globe, including the US, mainland Europe, and across the Commonwealth, all of the core jurisdictions that you would think of, such as Australia, Canada, New Zealand, South Africa, they are all encompassed in one within vLex. So you only need to do a single search to be able to search across all of this global data. Now, going into the platform itself, this is what the service looks like when you first log on. I'm going to focus in on some specific features that are useful for comparative research. So firstly, on the home screen, we have our media feed. So we have we have blogs from across the world. Firstly, come on to your latest news in your home jurisdiction. And if you click on the international news toggle, you're able to see blog posts from elsewhere in the world as well. And this can be customized to areas of interest specific for yourself. Next up, we have our browse feature. So the browse feature ultimately enables you to look through all of the coverage that's available on vLex. So if you do have a need for an international document, this is where you'll be able to see everything that is available at your fingertips. So straight away, it goes on to different content streams for your home jurisdiction. And if you click on all jurisdiction, it replicates this for all of our global content. So you can have a look through and see what else you are able to access on the service. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it looks like when you go into an actual case example itself. So I'm going to use RV Johnstone, which is actually a UK-based case, but it gives you a great idea of how this is applicable when you are doing comparative research. So when I click onto Johnstone, this is what the case looks like when you first click on. So we have a number of key information points at the top here, and then we have the full text underneath here. Now, the first thing that I'm going to show you is our cited in section. So our cited in section, these contain all of the cases that have subsequently referred to Johnstone. As you can see here, we've applied a traffic light system to the case treatment types. So if this case had received a negative treatment, this would appear straight away at the top in red, and then any neutral citations would appear in amber, and positive treatments would appear in green. If you cast your eye towards the left side of my screen, we're able to show you how this case has been cited throughout the Commonwealth. So you can see here that this case has been cited in a number of different jurisdictions, including Australia, Barbados, Hong Kong, etc. It's a really, really great tool. So if you had a particular interest to see, how UK cases are being cited, I don't know, in Singapore, you can select this option, and then it brings up the 8 cases even that have cited this case from Singapore. Now, next up, we have our precedent map, which is essentially a visualization of the data available in the cited in section, as well as all of the cases that have been referred to within the Johnstone argument. So the big blue circle in the center of our screen represents Johnstone itself. The circles in the middle are the cases that have been cited within the judgment, and the circles on the outside, these are the cases that have subsequently referred to Johnstone. If we have a look onto the right-hand side of my screen, you're able to see that we have, there's ways that you can filter this down essentially by different treatment types. You can also filter this down by specific categories of law as well. What is great about the precedent map is that it shows you how these cross-jurisdictional relationships all relate to one another. So the important thing to note are the sizes of the circles, because the larger the circle indicates the more shared relationships that that case has with Johnstone. So if I was to have a look at a slightly smaller circle, like this Mothercare case here, once I click onto it, we can see that although it did receive a positive treatment from Johnstone, it only has 3 other cases in common. Whereas when I'm doing, if I was interested as well to see about how this case has been cited in cross-jurisdictionally, perhaps I wanted to have a look at a slightly larger circle like the Nation Fittings case here, we're able to see that as well as treating Johnstone positively, it's also referred to these 3 cases even within Johnstone, and it's been subsequently cited by all of these cases here. This case itself is a Singaporean case. So again, you're able to see how all of these connections relate to one another. And it's a great, great tool when you're trying to prioritize your reading list when doing this kind of research. So often the feedback that we get from our clients is that it can be somewhat overwhelming when you have a long list of cited authorities and cited in authorities to try and pinpoint exactly which case you would want to read to next. The precedent map is a great way to try and speed up that process. Okay, now next up, we have our key paragraphs feature. So I'm going to jump back to our judgment tab here and show you this section here. So this passage, which appears at the very top of a judgment, this is the paragraph within Johnstone that has been subsequently cited the most. Now, although judgments can be tens, sometimes even hundreds of pages long, practitioners realize that it's usually just 1 or 2 key sections within the text, which are the reasons why that case has been cited time and time again. And now this is a really objective way of us being able to extract these key sections and display them straight away at the top of the case. Now, of course, just because this is the most cited passage, it doesn't mean that it will be the only paragraph of importance. So what you can do is you can click on highlight key paragraphs, and it produces this heat map on the right-hand side. Essentially, what this heat map enables practitioners to do is if they just wanted to skim read through a judgment, it will straight away draw their eye to all of the points within the text that others have found important enough to cite in the past. And these have been color-coded so that the darker the shade of blue indicates the more times that particular section has been cited. So, for example, if I was to click on this slightly lighter section, you can see here that this case has been cited only twice. What's more, we also show you how the individual portions of the text, how they've been cited cross-jurisdictionally. So here we can see that this particular Australian case has referred to this section. It's a great tool to see exactly how international cases have been citing your specific case. And then just to contrast, once we click on this darker passage, you can see that this case has been cited numerous different times. So yeah, if you were to read through any of these sections, decide it is an important point for the research you're conducting, we're able to show you A, what cases, other cases have referred to it, and B, we highlight here the exact passage in which, within their judgment, in which it's been mentioned, so you can read how it's discussed in context. Okay, now next up, we have our source link feature. So this is available under the Citations and Sources tab. Essentially, what the source link feature does is that it amalgamates all of your other international resources in one place. So essentially, some of the feedback we've had from our clients is that they will subscribe to a number of different databases to try and get comprehensive international content. We link out to over 120 of these. So essentially, you can use vLex as your starting point to link out to all of the other resources that you subscribe to. And these are available for you here. And we deep link into these for you. So we've got other providers such as Westlaw, Lexis, etc. It's just a way to utilize, for when you are doing international research, to utilize everything at your fingertips on vLex. And then lastly, we have Vincent. Now, Vincent is our AI assistant. And essentially what this does is that it provides recommendations for you for both your home jurisdiction and international jurisdictions. So what Vincent does is that it replicates the kind of research that practitioners do, but at lightning speed. And it provides you with a list of other relevant authorities that you can read into without having to go through the legwork of trying to source these yourselves. And what's more is that although it works on all of the data that we have on our service, it also works on any documentation you have. So all you would have to do is click on Vincent Insights on your document, select your jurisdiction. So if you're based in the UK, you can do so like so. And then you can either copy paste any legal text here or drag and select a file. And yes, from there, it will provide you with both domestic results as well as international results. So really speeding up that process when you are doing comparative work. And that is the main points covering for comparative research.
Fantastic. Thanks, Natalie. Wow, so much there. Just a couple of quick questions. So this iteration that we're looking at now, has that taken a while to develop? Did that come out of the merger with vLex and Justice, or?
Yes, so definitely there are points on the new system which have been inherited from Justice. So for example, the key paragraphs feature, the precedent map. Coming with the acquisition, we now, like vLex now has all of those Justice elements embedded with it. And then combined with that, the AI technology that vLex has been building for a number of years. So we now have a comprehensive toolkit to assist people with comparative research.
Gotcha. And I really like the way that you link out to even competitors, because you know, fundamentally that's a benefit to everybody, because the lawyers are going to do that anyway, so you might as well help them
Exactly. And particularly when we're working with knowledge managers, often the feedback that we get when they start utilizing vLex is that the usage on their other subscriptions increases. With vLex, what we've tried to do is make the interface as user-friendly as possible. As you can see, there are a number of tools to assist with your research. But if you do need to source a document from another provider, it's because practitioners find it's easier to find that data on vLex, the usage on that other provider also increases.
Gotcha. And if someone's watching this and thinks this is great, I'd like to, use this. I mean, how does that work? Do you just get a single license for vLex and you have access to everything, or do you buy like sections of it?
So it's completely customizable, our subscription packages. We do have certain packages where we offer a set amount of discount if you purchase those set jurisdictions within your subscription bundle. But ultimately, you can customize whatever jurisdictions you want to have access to.
Gotcha. And all the other facilities that you just, and features that you described there. So you would get hold of all of that all at once.
You will get hold of all of them. There is a slight surcharge for Vincent, but all of the other tools are included as standard in all of our subscription packages.
Fantastic. Thanks, Natalie. Well, I can't wait to see the rest of it. That was very, very interesting. So thank you very much for the walkthrough.
Thank you. And I'm sure that you will see more of this very shortly. I believe we have a few more videos coming up.